Sana Khan and you're watching MediCircle. Today we have a very interesting personality with us. She has worked as a senior scientist and a manager with many years of experience in scientific leadership in medical genetics, life science, and biotechnology. She is having experience in product panel development related to ophthalmic, infectious, reproductive health, oncology, nutrigenomics, sports genetics, and lifestyle disorders. Currently, she is a freelancer consultant and advisor working on various projects related to curriculum designing with some government university, mentoring startups for Indo-German project and looking forward to collaborate on more projects in the healthcare industry. Wow. Please welcome Dr. Usha Jain to our show, Dr. Speak. Hi, Dr. Usha, how are you?
Hello, Sana. I'm very well. How are you?
We are fine, thank you, ma'am. Uh, what is the future of medical genetics and genomic science in Indian healthcare system?
Yeah, Sana, to comprehend the future of medical genetics and genomic science in Indian healthcare, firstly, we need to know the revolutionary changes that have occurred in the terms of technology since the post-genomic era as compared to pre-genomics times, that is in year 1919 onwards.
Okay.
As we all know that the final draft of Human Genome Project was completed in the year 2004. And this was the project which started sometimes in 1990s, and it was a collaborative effort of multiple international labs costing approximately $13 million. And in last 2 decades, there have been a complete shift in our ability to sequence genetic information at scale. And today, the same genomic the sequencing can be done within 24 hours, and that too for 1,000 US dollars. So this low cost effective, quick, and easily accessible technology to sequence genetic information, because of that, there is a complete focus in the healthcare sector from intervention to prevention. So this is the one biggest change that has occurred after the genomic sciences has evolved gradually with the technological development. So earlier, when we say that what was medical genetics earlier in the pre-genomic times, genetic testing mainly referred either to the detailed molecular testing of nominated single genes simply by use of PCRs or southern blotting using the radial label probes, or broadly the low resolution genome wide screening through karyotyping or microarray. But once this human genome data was available to all researchers and scientists, then the scenario in understanding in the diagnosis of both monogenic as well as polygenic, where multiple genes are involved, that towards that disorders has changed completely. So the nowadays the exome sequencing as well as the exome means, I mean to say, the protein coding part where we sequence the protein coding part of genome, and the whole sequencing where we sequence both the coding as well as the non-coding part of genome. Now they are becoming a powerful tool in diagnosis, and because of that our prenatal diagnosis towards of these disorders is also changing. This is another big change which is coming because of this revolutionary changes in technology. Further, if we talk about another important aspects of our life that most of us are, it is becoming so common in our society, that is the lifestyle disorders, diabetes, cancer, and so many others. We every day we come across, every fourth or fifth person is, having this problem. So that has also changed completely. The understanding of these disorders is also changing completely. For instance, in the case of cancer, so you will see that nowadays genomic sequencing is used to identify the driver mutations from. So with that landscape of treatment, also options are also changes towards chemotherapy. So our medical sciences, is completely transforming because of these interventions. So I will now say that medical genetics was earlier a smaller approach for a limited number of disorders. Now, genomic sciences has broadened this approach and included a number of interdisciplinary aspects. And further, I would say another important change that has occurred, I would like to highlight here for all of us, that the biggest changing that are coming in the terms of that earlier medical sciences was using the one size fits all approach. That means we used to believe that treatment as well as prevention methods for the average population with no or little consideration of the genetic differences. We used to consider that genetically it is a population, Indian population, and the treatment and prevention approach was accordingly. But nowadays, genomic science has taught us that one size fits is not a right approach. Rather, we should shift to the precision medicine. So now this precision medicine is coming up as a great field. The entire, I should say, the entire medical industry is looking forward towards this precision medicine. It is nothing but, in a simple words, we can say it is a personalized medicine or a stratified therapy where we try to improve the treatment effectiveness, taking into considerations of patient's genetic characteristics, lifestyle, health, history, as well as the diet. So we inculcate all those aspects along with the genetic differences. So treatment goes along with that. So we can say that I should say that genomic sciences nowadays is completely revolutionizing the clinical medicine. It is to say, we can say it is almost the same approach as imaging was doing earlier, a decade back, when imaging technology was revolutionizing the clinical medicine. So it is giving the same effect to the clinical, to the medicine or medical genetics now. So once the prognosis, diagnosis, and treatment of genetic and lifestyle disorders are going to change, so definitely we will see a big change or elevation in the terms of clinical, psychological, and social impact of diseases over society. So future is very bright. Of course, challenges are there, but future is very bright.
Okay. You have over 2 decades of experience in medical genetics, life science, and biotechnology. How has the journey been?
So now if I look back during these 2 decades, it has been quite exciting, challenging, but learning too. And I would say that I have been very fortunate to have such supportive mentors, colleagues, and reporting officers who could sense out that enthusiasm, my enthusiasm towards new initiatives, and they have completely supported and trusted my potential. So due to due to this particular reason, I could challenge to take up my moves from diagnostics to academics to R&D. So my life has been, if I say personally, my life has been influenced by my father, whom I have seen taking up new initiatives, working hard, and working hard towards all challenges, never give up. And my mentor, of course, my guide, Professor I.C. Verma, senior consultant and advisor presently at Sir Gangaram Hospitals, with whom I have learned to be dynamic in approach. And these two people have really influenced my life a lot. If I talk about my journey professionally, from that perspective, I would say that the post-genomic times, since I've told you just now that the technological advancement are taking so fast that with blink of time, you feel that you need to upgrade your skill
Right.
and to move ahead in healthcare.
Mhm.
So I have always given importance to new learnings, upgrading my knowledge, may it be technical understanding or the research orientation. And this has been a great formula for me to keep a momentum ahead or to keep a momentum on towards the interdisciplinary approach for tackling these various health issues. In these last 2 decades, especially the last one, I should say last 10 years, with the advancement of biotechnology, there is a complete paradigm shift, and that has got a great potential for improved healthcare. But it has also created huge challenges that demands new approaches from medical geneticists, clinicians, lab scientists, bioethicists, information technologists, and of course the health economists too. In all, it demands interdisciplinary, I should say, it demands what? It demands interdisciplinary integration of scientific, medical, legal, psychological fraternity to move and to ensure a brighter future. That way, I would say.
What is the effect of COVID-19 on Indian healthcare, according to you, Dr. Usha?
Yeah, COVID, I should say that effect, of course, are big and never seen before. Since the lockdown, we know that the entire healthcare system is focused on prevention, diagnosis, and containment of these COVID patients only. So on one aspect, if we see, there is a sharp decline in number of OPD patients, elective surgeries, international patients coming here for different treatments. Reason, people are keeping the restricted movements and their hesitation to visit hospitals. Also, there is an additional cost, as most of the hospitals and nursing homes, they are using, trying to best inculcate the most stringent hygiene and containment practices. So there have occurred a gap in the terms of the care of these patients having other chronic disorders. So, according to us, like me and are the healthcare people, they are watching. There is this delayed or miss on treatment. It can definitely lead to a long-term burden on healthcare. So, but on the other hand, if we see the other side of the coin, the pharmaceutical and healthcare sector has really geared up to invest in the additional manpower, equipments, consumables, and all the resources to ensure the 100% preparedness in hospitals. They have converted this risk into opportunity, definitely. And government of India is also, focusing on meeting this hyper demands of the essential items, maybe healthcare infrastructure facilities, consumables, or other PPE kits, diagnostic kits, sanitization, disinfectants, whatever. So many things which have come up recently. And under the umbrella of Atmanirbhar schemes, you must be knowing that number of startups
Right.
have coming up with innovative ideas and
A
products
number
to
of
provide a
startups.
safe new normal.
Right.
Maybe in the terms of the medical devices or in the terms of the software. So everywhere there is a spark within people to come up with new ideas and to fight towards this pandemic. So definitely people are trying their best to work upon the COVID situations.
Now, what is the impact of this coronavirus outbreak in your life? How are you dealing with it?
The situation, I said, just what we are facing just now, we have never seen before.
True.
And this pandemic has really taught us that life is very vulnerable. One needs to be courageous and have perseverance to move ahead in life. I've got both the parents actually who are elderly and immunocompromised,
Mm.
and I have been taking care of them. My mother is a cancer survivor actually.
Okay.
So I have been taking care of them personally because there was a lockdown and no support system and no nurses were attending them. So at that particular time, their home care was the best care actually.
Mm.
So during this lockdown, one good thing I did that I got a chance to work from home. And because they were immunocompromised, I could not attend the labs, but was working virtually till June. Then afterwards, after resigning from my last this organization, I got a chance that how we can, work upon this new normal using the virtual modes, connectivity, new learnings, and with the entire globe. And I'm trying to precipitate. I've tried to precipitate my earlier experiences. So recently engaged in many some projects, some good projects, I should say, involving the diagnostics and the curriculum designing with the university, because I want that the kind of integration or interdisciplinary integration that has come up, the youth should be prepared in future for those, because now it cannot be one approach that you are expertise in this. One should have an integrated approach towards all scientific arena and other sciences also, other non-scientific streams also. And recently, I would like to mention here that I have been, I have been given the responsibility to mentor this project. It is an Indo-German initiative for startups, with whom I could really feel that how, these startups with initiative, with such igniting ideas are coming up. And I'm also learning a lot with them and really enjoying uh, mentoring them. And I'm best able to use, I've done my biotechpreneur course with EDII and GSBTM. So I'm able to, work upon those skills which I've used. I'm trying to, to mentor them and hand holding them. And secondly, important thing which I'm working upon, and as a big project at national level. I'm planning, like, I've seen how these comorbidities people are struggling to maintain a good health, especially seeing my parents, elderly parents. So how the the idea of keeping, this home care, idea of home care could be, broaden up, could be taken up at a national level, so that these people do not suffer because of such pandemics, because our medical system, has got lots of limitations. So we want that entrepreneurs should come forward. They should have they should try to, collaborate one facility or the other, if one platform, so that a platform is created for these elderly peoples. So this is one another big vision and a mission which I am taking up as forward in my life after this COVID has happened.
Congratulations for your this initiative, ma'am. I'm sure it is going to help others also.
Definitely. I hope so and pray towards it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Usha, for coming to our show and sharing your valuable time and insights with us. It has been a pleasure having you on our MediCircle platform.
Thank you, Sana. Thank you so much for your this lovely opportunity where I could share my vision, my mission, and my views towards medical genetics. And I hope the youth who are really working towards it, they should have a vision towards creating a new, a better India for all of us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.